Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 15th, 2025, and Barcelona just gave another masterclass of a performance, absolutely destroying, thrashing Real Betis in the round of 16 of the Copa del Rey. And with this victory, Barcelona advance to the quarterfinals, where we will find out who is our next opponent on Monday. This is the post match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. This is the post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches and where I get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section. My favorite part, by reading your comments out loud, answering your questions, and getting that discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcasts, which is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we discuss Barcelona news. And speaking of podcasts, there will be one today. I know right now we're doing the live after the match, but there's still going to be another live after this one, because, of course, there's always news that we need to discuss. Now, having said all that, let's begin with the live analysis because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona just gave another masterclass of a performance, thrashing Real Betis 5-1 in the Copa del Rey round of 16. And with this victory, we advance to the quarterfinals. What can I say? What can I say besides I have not enjoyed myself watching Barcelona matches for so many years? The joy I feel when I watch Hansi Flick's Barcelona is the same joy I used to feel when I would watch Pep Guardiola's Barcelona or Luis Enrique's Barcelona or the MSN Barcelona. This reminds me of those great years because, again, for the first time in a very long time, I'm actually enjoying myself watching these matches. The way the team plays is just absolute magic. The way the team moves the ball, the way they create chances, the way they find the passes. This team finally has an identity. This is something I talked about last season a lot, where I said this team lacked identity. It's not a problem anymore. And when I say this team has an identity, it means when you see Barcelona, you know you are watching Barcelona because you can identify the style that they use to play. And they always revert back to that style. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if they're losing. It doesn't matter if they're tying. It doesn't matter if they're winning. They revert back to their style. They revert back to their identity. They have a plan. They know what to do. And they execute it, not always to a perfection, but you see what they're trying to do, and they do it time and time again. Against Real Madrid, we started the match losing 1-0. It did not matter. The team reverted back to its style, to its identity, continue play the way they know how to play. They scored 5 goals in a row, unanswered goals. Today, Barcelona, after winning against Real Madrid 5 goals, after winning the Spanish Super Cup, they come today and they repeat the same exact performance. I saw no difference between today's Barcelona and the Barcelona over the weekend when they defeated Real Madrid. Another goal fest, another magical performance, another masterclass by this team. And I honestly don't know what to say because you guys saw it. You have your own eyes. You saw what you saw on the field. And again, I'm once again enjoying myself watching Barcelona play. Now, over the weekend, I was talking to a friend before the Real Madrid match, and he asked me, Mo, what if Hansi Flick does not win La Liga and the Spanish Super Cup this season? Does that mean that Xabi is better than Flick? And I said, no. I don't care if we win 0 trophies this season. Don't get me wrong. Trophies are important. But the way I'm enjoying myself, that's for me enough for me to say that this coach is better than Xabi and better than Koeman, better than Valverde, better than Setien. Because after all, we forget, football is an entertainment. And if you're not being entertained watching the matches, then what's the point of watching the matches? It's like watching a movie that you hate. Why would you watch it, right? And I, for once, been entertained in many, many years. Since Luis Enrique left, I haven't felt this joy watching Barcelona's matches because this team is an absolute joy. All the way from the defenders to the forwards, the midfield, everybody did their job today. Everybody performed amazing, and the team worked as a whole. Not as 11 individual players trying to figure out what to do, no, but as a whole. The way the team pressure in an organized manner was absolutely suffocated. Real Betis couldn't even get 2 or 3 passes in a row because immediately Barcelona would recover the ball. I'll say it again. I am, for once in a very long time, enjoying myself. And to think that this was just 2, 3 days after the Spanish Super Cup, I thought maybe the team would be tired. I mean, a final against Real Madrid is always very demanding physically, mentally, emotionally. And today, Barcelona is like nothing. They just go back and they do it again. Again, reminiscent of the great Barcelonas of Pep, Luis Enrique, etc. A team that it doesn't matter who their opponent is. It doesn't matter if it's Real Madrid or Getafe. It doesn't matter if it's the Champions League or the Copa del Rey. They go out there, they do what they know how to do, and they get the results. When this team moves the ball, they have a purpose. And that's something that we did not see in many seasons after Luis Enrique left, where the team would just move the ball not knowing what to do. But here, every movement has a purpose because there's a plan in place. There's a style of play in place. There's an identity in place. And all 11 players on the field know exactly what to do. So they work in unison. They work as a machine and things work out. And this is exactly what I kept asking for the last 2 seasons when I said this team doesn't have an identity. That's no longer a problem. So an amazing match by Barcelona, a masterclass performance by everyone, and especially Lamine Yamal, who for me today was an absolute MVP. And after today's performance of Lamine Yamal, of course, adding to the many great performances before, I think we can now say that Lamine Yamal sits at the table of the best players in the world, if not the best player on the world, because his performance today was magical. And I'm not just talking about the goal or the assist, but the way he dribbles past defenders, the way he creates danger, the way he pulls defenders from the area, just by the fact that he has the ball, the way he makes decisions. This kid is special. And I'm not going to compare him to Messi because Messi is Messi, and what we lived with Messi is not going to be ever lived again. But Lamine Yamal is creating his own path. And what we're seeing with Lamine Yamal, we're not going to see it again in another player because each player is special in their own way. And what we're seeing from Lamine is absolutely amazing. Now, let's look at the lineup because we did have a lot of changes from the match against Real Madrid. Once again, Hansi Flick with his tactical genius, changing things and not doing it just for the sake of doing it or just for resting players. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But here we have whoa, what happened? I got the wrong picture. Anyways, let's talk about the lineup. I don't know what happened. There we go. I don't know what's going on, but it got the computer. Anyways, let's talk about the lineup because we did have Dani Olmo playing as a false nine. And this was not a coincidence. This was not Hansi Flick just trying to rest Robert Lewandowski because, after all, he did run a lot against Real Madrid. But this had a purpose. Against Real Madrid, we had Lewandowski playing deeper in the midfield. And that was on purpose because what Hansi Flick was trying to do with Lewandowski, having him drop to the midfield, was to pull the center backs out of the box, leaving spaces for our wingers like Rafinha and Lamine Yamal to go in, and it worked to perfection, right? Lamine Yamal scoring a goal, Rafinha scoring 2. That was executed to perfection. And today, Hansi Flick, another tactical genius, using Dani Olmo as a false nine. And again, this was not by coincidence. This was not just to rest Lewandowski. This was in order to also create space, because when you play someone as a false nine, which is what Dani Olmo did, he played as a false nine. Instead of staying in the box, he had to play a little bit deeper into the midfield. And with doing that, that created spaces for other players because Real Betis defenders had to push forward in order to cover Dani Olmo, which left spaces for other players to make the runs from the second line or from the wings. And once again, Hansi Flick showing us his tactical genius, which once again worked to perfection. 5 goals against Real Madrid. Oh, another 5 goals 2-3 days later. And I went back and did the count. I went back to all the fixtures of Barcelona. This is the 14th thrashing of the season. 14th. That's absolute insanity. And let's not forget, we're in an era where Xavi Hernandez told us that thrashings don't exist. That in modern football, forget about thrashings. It's not possible. It's difficult because modern football is difficult. Well, for Flick, it doesn't seem like it's difficult because it's the 14th thrashing of the season and we're only halfway through the season. Absolute insanity. This team is insane. I love this picture. I think this um the perfect title for this picture is all I can think of is hashtag squad goals because this right now is the best team in Europe. I can say it with full confidence. When Barcelona play at their 100%, when Barcelona do what they know how to do, they are the best team in Europe, if not in all the world. And this Barcelona is absolutely unstoppable. When they play at their 100%, other teams do not know what to do. They do not know how to defend against us. They do not know how to respond to us. And we're seeing the same Barcelona from the beginning of the season. And this is good news because, of course, we had those series of bad matches in November and December, and we said, this it? Has Barcelona run out of gas? Then we thrashed you, the Barbastro. We said, okay, maybe not. We can't really say that we're back because, after all, it's just a fourth division team. Then Barcelona did it against Real Madrid, and we said, okay, maybe this will be the changing point. This will be what will catapult us and bring us back to our form from beginning of the season. And well, today, a confirmation of that yes, Barcelona are back. Barcelona are playing like they were at the beginning of the season. And thank God, because when they play like that, this is an unstoppable team. No one knows how to stop Hansi Flick's Barcelona when they are at their best. And today is just another proof of that. Again, the 14th thrashing of the season. Absolute spectacle. And this could have been more because there were 2 offside goals. There were some chances that were missed here and there. But absolutely amazing performance. I'm just ecstatic. I'm on cloud 9. I don't even know what to say because, again, for the first time in a very long time, I'm enjoying myself. Now, let's look at Jules Koundé's offside, by the way, because this was pretty insane to me. Not to mention the other offside, which it's crazy that they had to go back 10 plays back where the offside had absolutely no effect on the play. But let's look at this semi-automatic offside. Because from the side view, it looks like there's no offside. But then they show us this other image, and it's his toenail. Apparently, Jules Koundé forgot to trim his toenails, and as a result, we get an offside. This, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, per the rules, technically, of course, it is offside. It's legal. I'm not saying that they robbed us or anything, but something has to be done about this. I don't know if they could be adjusted to where if it's a few millimeters, it's not an offside. I don't know what the solution is because per the rules right now as they exist, this is a perfectly legal offside. I'm not here to tell you this wasn't an offside. I'm not here to tell you we got robbed. But what's my problem with this offside is that the reason why the offside rule was invented or created was to make it a level playing field, right? Not to give an extra advantage to the other team by having, a player just standing in the back behind defenders, just receiving balls and scoring. But what is the advantage of this? How is Koundé's toe being an offside and not even his toe? This is his toenail. How is this an advantage? Because remember, again, the purpose of the offside rule is to, negate any advantage that an attacker can have over a defender by being behind him. You're telling me that his toenail being offside creates an advantage so superior that there's no way Real Betis could have done anything to stop him? They're right next to each other. They're on the same line. So I don't get it. Again, I'm not here to say that this wasn't an offside because whether it's a foot or a millimeter, it's still an offside is an offside. But I think we need to revisit this. We need to revisit this because with the semi-automatic offside, it's a computer, and a computer is going to calculate all the way down to the smallest millimeter. And if your hair is offside, you're going to be offside, which to me is insane because, again, the offside rule is to negate any advantages. And your toenail being offside, there's absolutely no advantage to this. You're telling me now that the Real Betis defender is so disadvantaged that Jules Koundé's toe is ahead of him, that somehow there's no way he can stop that? Absolutely not. That's absolute nonsense. Again, I'm not even going to talk about the other offside because the other offside for sure was not offside because Lamine Yamal had already passed the ball back. The play had reset it, but whatever. They try to, call these bullshit calls at us. And again, same lesson as always. When you do your job, the referee becomes irrelevant. They canceled 2 goals. It didn't matter. We scored 5. Would have been nice to have won 7-1. Sure. But who cares? It's 5-1. It's still a thrashing. And again, this proves the same exact point that I've been saying since last season. It proves the same point that Hansi Flick keeps making in his press conferences, that when you do your job, the referee becomes irrelevant, and the referee can never, ever, ever be an excuse, because you can only control what you do. You cannot control external factors like referees. So you always have to focus at playing your best, because when you do, external factors become irrelevant. Injuries become irrelevant. The field state becomes irrelevant. The referee becomes irrelevant. And Hansi Flick has taught us this time and time again, even though in the past, other coaches used to tell us that the only reason we were losing were because of those external factors. But anyways, absolute masterclass performance. I don't have anything else to say because you guys watched the match. You guys saw the goals. There's not much for me to say except one thing now that I remember. Iñaki Peña. Iñaki Peña. We are starting to see the best form of Iñaki Peña. He has been spectacular. The save that he had today, the saves that he had again in the Spanish Super Cup, we're starting to see Iñaki Peña making the saves that Mark ter Stegen used to make. And I am very happy for that, because there was a lot of doubt about Iñaki Peña. But with the passing of time, with every match that passes by, Iñaki Peña is only getting better and better. He's getting more confident in his position. And Hansi Flick has a huge problem, because he's going to have to figure out which to pick, Szczesny or Iñaki Peña, which, of course, is not really a problem. Who doesn't want to have that problem as a coach? Do I pick someone great or someone great? My life sucks. No, it's not really a problem, but absolutely delighted. And the last point I'll make, and this is not about Barcelona or their players, Vitor Roque. I don't see him at Barcelona. I know he didn't really get much minutes, and we're like, what's happening? He went to Betis. We're like, okay, he's having a good season. Maybe he can come back. I saw him today. I'm not impressed. Yes, he's having a good season with Real Betis, but it's not anything to rave about. It's not like, oh my God, Vitor Roque is amazing. And today, I just did not see it. Even his penalty kick was horribly executed. It went in by pure luck. It actually ended up touching Iñaki. Even Iñaki Peña, I think, was surprised. If you look at the replay and you see his face, he's like, whoa, wait a minute. I thought the ball was going to go. He was even surprised at the ball. Like, it was so horribly kicked. I just don't see it. Which, of course, is problematic, because why do we spend so much money on a player that it took Xavi 5 minutes to figure out he wasn't good enough, and it took Flick another 5 minutes to figure out he wasn't good enough. And now at Real Betis, I'm not seeing anything magical. But anyways, I'm not going to complain. This is a great freaking day. And Ferran Torres is scoring a goal. By the way, when Ferran Torres came on, I texted my friends and I said, Ferran Torres is about to score a hat trick for a goal. He's the best ever. Of course, I was kidding. I was just being facetious. And literally 5 minutes later, he scores. And I was like, what the fuck? I love Ferran, man. He sucks. We all love to make fun of him. But hey, he scores every now and then, so I'm not going to complain. Obviously, not worth the $55 million we paid for him. But I just think it's just funny. Anyways, let's do the comment section. I don't have anything else to say besides masterclass performance by the team. And therefore, once again, I am actually enjoying myself watching Barcelona play. James says this match could have easily end with 10-1. I agree. Absolutely. John Williams says, hey, Mo, I'm happy for the victory and the team's overall performance. I am happy too, my friend. I think this is another day to celebrate. I mean, sure, we didn't win anything. We just made it to the next round. But I think it's a reason to celebrate, because we're seeing a Barcelona that's absolutely unstoppable. A Barcelona the other teams simply do not know what to do or how to respond to, or how to even stop. And to do this performance today, score 5 goals today after scoring another 5 goals against Real Madrid 3 days later, it tells you that this team is absolutely insatiable. This team is absolutely unstoppable. And it was just an absolute joy to watch Barcelona all this season. Wisdom says, and Xavi said the thrashing team's era in football was over. Yes, thank you. I just made that point. 14 thrashings this season. And by the way, I never understood why Xavi said that, because we got thrashed a lot last season. 4 goals against Girona, 4 goals against Girona again, 4 goals with Athletic Club Bilbao, 4 goals versus Real Madrid, 5 goals versus Villarreal. I mean, we got thrashed like 5-6 times last season. So I don't know how he always said thrashes don't exist in modern football, because we were the ones receiving them. So I would think you'd know they existed, because you are suffering at the hands of those thrashings. But anyways, Raul says Perez was definitely in the VAR room pressing the buttons for the offsides like a toddler with a keyboard. Man, I think the commentator said this, and I don't know, I can't say 100% because I didn't go back and check, but the commentator said this is the most offsides that Barcelona have uh, have fallen victim to. I don't know how to phrase it right now. I'm just too excited. This is the most offsides that Barcelona have fallen into in the whole season. Which again, I haven't verified that fact, but I mean, it sounds about right. I've never seen so many offsides being called against Barcelona. Eric says, Mo did count how many changes Yamal created. Plus, Yamal was just absolutely insane. Just insane. I don't even know what to say. And to think that he's only 17 years old, to think that he is not even as good as he can be because he's only 17. He's still growing as a footballer. He's still growing as a human being. His body's not even fully developed. His muscles are not fully developed. His ligaments, his bones. So not only is he still growing as a footballer, he's still growing as a human being. He can't even run as fast as he's not even running as fast as he could be in the future. He's not even as strong as he could be in the future. He's not even as explosive as he could be in the future once he's fully developed, once he's fully matured, physiologically speaking. And to see the things that he's doing right now at 17, I can only imagine what he'll be able to do once he reaches his prime, once he's gained experience as a footballer, once he's grown, physically speaking. I mean, just insanity. What we're seeing from Lamine Yamal is absolute insanity. Emza says, hi, Mo. Greetings from South Africa, not South America. So excited. What a game. So nice to see a defender, Kunde, score a goal almost twice. Kunde it was pretty cool, by the way. His goal, not only was one hell of a shot. I mean, the way Kunde just volleys that ball was insane. But what I liked about it is that usually it's Kunde assisting Lamine. And today, Lamine was like, I got you, bro. I'm going to return the favor. Assist him instead. And the whole play was just amazing. It starts with Frankie de Jong getting the ball, gives it to Pedri. Pedri makes a pass all across the field to Kunde. Kunde fakes that he's got to get it. Says to Lamine. Lamine automatically one touch pass to Kunde, and Kunde just rips that goal apart. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful goal. Again, this is what happens when you have a strategy in place, a style of play in place, an identity in place, when you all play as a unit, when you all understand each other, when you all know exactly what the other player is doing, and when you move the ball with purpose versus what we used to do last season, where we would just pass the ball side to side with no idea what to do and nothing would happen. This is the difference. Victor says, what an incredible match. The performance of Tamal. I want some tamales now. Of Yamal was incredible. Kunde was best. Pedri, as always, the maestro. Danny was the creation master. I don't see any bad performance today. Even Victor Roque. I actually did not like what I saw from Victor Roque. Not because I just don't see it as a Barca level type performance. But yes, the team was absolutely amazing. By the way, Pedri, again, Lamine Yamal is the star of the team, but Pedri is the brain center of the team. Yamal is the biggest star of the team. Lamine Yamal is the most important. Lamine Yamal is the star of the team. Pedri is the most important player in the team because he is the maestro. He is the orchestra leader. He sets the tempo. He creates the plays. He is the brain of this team. And it's just been a blessing watching Pedri this season. And to think there used to be this guy who would comment on every video I made, on every live, Pedri's trash, sell Pedri. Oof. Ross says, good game, Mo. Weird offside, definitely. Also, sorry if you already talked about this. Just got in. What's the word with Araujo? I heard that he stays and extends. Yes, apparently he's going to stay. I'll talk about it during the podcast. What a drama with Araujo, man. Amy says, Kunde was amazing today. Who said we need another forward? Kunde was absolutely amazing today. Street Fighter says, this will have been a good chance to see Tony. This is the same team that Yamal and Kouarsi got their debut. Yeah, it would have been. But, I mean, we still got plenty of rotations in. You know, Pau Victor got some minutes. Speaking of Vitor Roque, I forgot to mention this. When I see Pau Victor, even though we see him for very little minutes here and there, when I see Pau Victor and then I see Vitor Roque, the same question comes to my mind. Why the hell did we sign Vitor Roque when we had Pau Victor there? Because remember, Pau Victor was at Barcelona last season. He was on loan, but he was there available. He could have been used in the first team because even the very few minutes that we see of Pau Victor, the way he receives the ball, the way he controls his movements, his shots, his runs to the empty space, way better than Vitor Roque. And Pau Victor cost us what, 2-3 million? And we paid 30 million for Vitor Roque plus 30 in variables. Just does not add up. Something is wrong there. It just does not add up. And Hart says Barca scored fifth goal. Flick was still wearing a poker face. By the way, Hart, I sent you an email like 2-3 weeks ago. Check your email box. I have another project for you. So please let me know if you're interested. Kill Bill says, Mo, did you see Ferran's celebration? He thinks now he did it. He silenced us. I love when players do that, by the way. When they're like, they suck. Coutinho did that once, right? Coutinho never, not even once did he have any flashes of brilliance at Barcelona. And like, he scores a goal, his typical goal where he cuts into the middle, curves this ball and scores a goal. And he just goes up to the crowd and he's like, I'm like, bro. And that was Ferran pretty much today. Like, okay, yes, you scored a goal. Awesome. Thank you. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you are above the criticism or that you proved everybody wrong. You still suck. Like, know your place. Victor says, incredible match, great performance from Yamal, Pedri, the ignition key. Omo was the engine. Kunde was a beast. Even De Jong was incredible. No bad performances. Ferran showing up as a super sub. Again, and this is something I also talked about last season. I used to say, when a team has an identity and when a team has a style of play, it doesn't matter what players you put in, it still works, right? Because the whole team works as a unit. And when you replace one player, put another one, it continues to work the same way, right? It's like your car. Your car, you take off a tire, you put another tire, the car is still going to work. It's not going to fall apart because you change the tires, right? And it's the same thing with teams. It doesn't matter with good teams with solid foundation, teams that know what to do in unison. You take out the players, you put in other one, it still works flawlessly. And today was proof of that, right? Casado out, Frankie Dia in his place. We didn't even notice the change. Lewandowski out, Dani Olmo in his place. We didn't even notice the change. Balde out, Gerard Martin in his place. We didn't even notice the change. And that's what a tactically sound team looks like. A team that knows how to play regardless of the circumstances, regardless whether they're losing, winning, or tying. They know what to do. They continue doing it. And a team that, regardless of what players are playing and what changes you make, it continues to work the same way. We cannot say that about previous teams. We cannot say that about Xavi Hernandez's team. Xavi Hernandez's team, he would make one substitution and the whole thing would just fall apart. Why? Because that was a team that did not play as a team. That was a team that depended on individuality. So when you take out a player and you put another one in his place, the individualities of that player that got subbed out are gone. They're no longer added in the equation. They're no longer accounting for the team's performance. That doesn't happen in a team that's tactically sound, a team that knows what to do in unison. And these are the things that I stressed about time and time again in my all post-match live analysis last season, and people thought I was crazy. People said that I was a hater, that I was a Madrid fan. What the hell do you even know, Mo? Right there. That's all I wanted. Look at how Barca's playing now. That's all I wanted. I mean, I know it's a lot, but that's what the fuck I was talking about. I was not making shit up just to make shit up for the sake of it. That's what I was talking about. Do you guys now see what I was talking about last season? I hope you do. Otherwise, I don't know what else to do. Mike says, hey, I think that's hey Mo. Do you fear that means potential hype might ruin his form of play, such as messing with his center of gravity? I mean, he's 17. I can't imagine him growing that much more in height. So I don't know. Usually, most teenagers are done growing height-wise usually by 16, 17. They could grow a little bit more until maybe they hit 20, but I just don't see Lamine shooting up a lot more. I mean, he might grow a little bit more here and there, but I think mostly what he's going to grow is his muscles, right? He's going to develop his muscles, which usually come in later. You first grow your skeletal bones. That's But the first thing grows. And then once your skeleton is done growing, then your muscles start growing to where they're supposed to be, right? So usually you reach your height, and then once you're at your height that you're supposed to be, that you're programmed to be by your DNA, then your muscles start to come in. So I think I can't see Lamine grow it more. Like he might grow a little bit more, but nothing crazy. And then what we'll see is probably his actual muscles start to develop, which again is insane because he's a child. He's still a child and he's doing the things that he's doing. So can you imagine when he's a fully grown adult what he's gonna be doing? I mean, just crazy. I can't even imagine. Yomi Dara says, hi, I caught the live. Hit the like, guys. Yes, please. Hit that like button. I was going to say, hit that like, guys, buttons. Hit that like button, guys, please. It really helps the channel. It's completely free. It only takes a second. And then, when you do it, it promotes the channel to people who've never seen it. And we do have a donation. Mustafa, who's always very, very, very generous with his donations. Thank you, my friend. He says, how old is Lamine again? Bizka Barca. 17 years old, man. What were you guys doing at 17? I'll tell you what I was doing. Nothing. I was going to high school, and then after high school, I would go home and scratch my balls and play video games, and that's what I was doing at 17. I was playing football on my high school team, but let's be honest, that means nothing. Lamine Yamal is playing at the best club in the world and one of the best leagues in the world at the elite level. I was playing at my high school team, and again, in my free time, I was scratching my balls and playing video games. And this guy is scoring goals against Real Madrid in El Clasico in a final. Just crazy, absolute insanity. Wendell says, Mo, I'm late, but was Yamal goal really offside? I don't think so because again, the ball goes back. So to me, it has no influence on the play. How many passes you gotta go back? Are we gonna be like, it's 80th minute, let's review this? Oh wait, there was an offside in the second minute of the first half. So it's all related, it's all connected. So this is an offside too. Like, come on, man. But again, when you do your job, the referee becomes irrelevant. 2 canceled goals, it didn't matter. We still won 5-1. Would have been nice to win 7-1, absolutely. But we still won 5-1. It's still a victory. It's still a thrashing. Still a masterclass. So I don't ever want to hear another coach get in front of the mic and talk about the ref this and the ref that, because that's all we heard last season. And I was sick and tired of it. And this season is proof that when you do your job, the external factors become irrelevant. It doesn't matter what injuries you have. It doesn't matter the state of the field. It doesn't matter the weather. It doesn't matter the referee. If you do your job, everything becomes irrelevant. And this is the same thing I also talk about when I reference Laporta's mismanagement, because people are like, oh, Mo, but Barcelona's enemies, they're trying to destroy the club. And sure, Barcelona does have a lot of enemies out there. But if you do your job right, if you manage the club right, if you make the club stronger, then your enemies, they're not going to affect you because you're strong. There's nothing they can do to you. But if you weaken the club, then yes, absolutely, they're gonna be able to do damage to you. Same thing last season, right? Yes, the referees are shit. We've always known that. Yes, injuries is the thing. Everybody deals with them. Yes, all these external factors can affect you. But if you're already weakening the team from within because you're a terrible coach, then those factors get amplified. But if you do your job, you strengthen the team, and you make them strong, then those external factors become weak and they don't affect you. They become irrelevant. Same thing with the management of the club. Sure, La Liga, Royal Spanish Football Federation, they're all out to get us, or they're all just biased towards us. But if you weaken the club from within, you're only making their job easier. That's all I'm saying. And people get so upset with me, and I have nothing to do with this. I'm not the one doing this. It's like, Mo, fuck you. Wait a minute. I'm not the one in charge. I'm not the one committing these blunders. I'm just pointing at them. But people, it's like, where's this energy? People get angry at me for pointing out the mistakes, but where's the same energy against the people who are actually making a mistake, right? It's like getting robbed and blaming your cousin. It's like, your cousin didn't rob you. It's the robber. Why are you mad at your cousin? Be mad at the robber. But anyways, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, your donations. I will be doing the live podcast not immediately after this. I want to say maybe in 15, 20 minutes. I want to go to the bathroom, catch something to eat real quick because I just finished working. I really got off my computer, sat on this YouTube station. So I'll take a 15-20 minute break, and then we do the live podcast to discuss the news, including the Ronald Araujo situation. What a drama. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you in the podcast in a few. And as always, peace, guys.